The JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 151. Get Real, episode number 35. The critical importance of physical hunger in weight loss. Hello, welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show, or welcome if this is your first time tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet. What the heck is the Inner Self Diet? The Inner Self Diet is a diet that actually works because it heals the root of whatever it is that is driving you to binge eat, emotionally eat, obsess about food, hate your body, hate yourself, be out of control, doubt yourself, use food for comfort, use food as your boyfriend, your lover, your best friend, make food your whole life, be afraid of the scale. I mean, gosh, I could go on with so many things here, and the Inner Self Diet heals whatever it is that is standing in your way of just simply living a healthy lifestyle so that you could allow the physical fat to drop from your body and stay off. It's pretty cool. I've been doing this kind of work since 2009. It works every time. All you have to do is do it. Of course, the Inner Self Diet doesn't work for anybody who doesn't do it. You got to do the steps, you got to follow the instructions, and if you do that, my coaching clients end their food and weight struggles in 8 weeks or less. Hey, do you have my free ebook? If you don't, you can get it right now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. In it, you'll get 3 simple steps to start making weight loss easier from the inside out. These are not typical food or exercise tips. Instead, they are tips that you can use to make weight loss easier from the inside out. You can get that now. Download it. Just enter your first name, your best email address. Do that now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. All right, today is Get Real, episode number 35. Boop, boop, boop. Back up. Do not pass go. Hold on. Warning, if I had a sound effect board, I would be playing sound effects right now because there's a big warning here. Hey, guess what? If you're looking for reasons to fail, if you're looking for reasons to make more excuses, if you're looking for reasons to blame other people or blame anything outside of yourself for your failures to reach your goal weight and stay there, then you might as well exit right now because I'm sure that you're going to find something that you won't like about what I'm about to say. And if you're just looking for reasons to be offended, don't listen to this podcast because this is Get Real, episode number 35 of the JoLynn Braley Show. And hey, before you go, let me just tell you this. If you are not willing to get real with yourself, you will not achieve permanent success with your weight because you got to start by starting where you are, and you've got to be willing to get gut level, underbelly honest with yourself about the state of your weight, the state of your mindset, the state of your thinking, which of course is a part of your mindset, and the state of the lies that you tell yourself, the rationalizations that you make to yourself. You know what those are? Those are rational lies. Rational lies. Every time you rationalize why, oh, I deserve to have this as a treat, or, oh, another one won't hurt, or, oh, I'll just wait until New Year's Day and make another New Year's resolution and I'll finally lose weight. And it's never happened before, you know? So if you're not willing to get totally badass, bottom line, real with yourself, how are you ever going to heal what's on the inside of you that is driving you to be overweight on the outside? But now you can leave if you are looking for reasons to be offended. Hey, if you don't like the word fat, you should leave. Okay? So now, for you who is still here, you who is willing to get real with yourself, getting real with yourself, it's not about beating yourself up. It's not about blaming yourself either. It's just about being honest with yourself, okay? You are not going to get fit, slim, trim, and healthy by continuing to put food in your mouth when your physical stomach is not hungry. It's not going to happen, okay? You're not going to get fit, trim, slender, and healthy and strong if you don't change your lifestyle, all right? If you are telling yourself lies that you can continue to live exactly as you are now, the way that has packed 50, 20, 100 extra pounds on your body, and if you're lying to yourself, telling yourself that you could take a pill and that you could continue to eat exactly as you are and continue to be sedentary and do everything that you're doing now, and that you're suddenly going to magically transform, and especially it's all going to happen overnight, it might be time to get real with yourself. Why? Well, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to lose weight and keep it off? Or do you just want some other quickie, fast, fat loss trick that maybe, oh, hey, how about a cleanse? Yeah, a cleanse will make it look like you dropped 10 pounds in 5 days. But you know what that is? Poop. That's what it is. It's not fat. You're not going to drop 10 pounds of fat in 5 days. But hey, it all depends on what you want. If you want to get a healthy, real world, normal relationship with food that is something that you're able to live with for the rest of your life and feel good in your own skin and be at your ideal weight and just live a healthy lifestyle, all right, you can do that. But keep in mind that 92.8% of it is going to be mindset. 92.8% of it, you've got to change your mindset. That's the work that I do with my awesome coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. And what I'm here to talk about today in Get Real episode number 35 of the JoLynn Braley Show, podcast episode number 151, is the critical importance of physical hunger and weight loss. This is something that you might also want to get real with yourself about right now. Okay, first truth. Physical hunger is a good thing. You might want to write this down. I suggest you write any notes down, pen on paper. Why is physical hunger a good thing? Well, it means that your body is digesting the food that you're eating, and it's using the food for fuel, and things are working. All right? Think of your body as a machine. Think of it as a car. Would you ever even dream of taking your car with a full gas tank to the gas station to put more gas in it? Of course you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't do that. Why do you put food in your body's gas tank when you're not even physically hungry? If you continue to eat like that, you're not going to get to your ideal weight and stay there. It just doesn't work. Now, I know that there's tricks out there. Oh, well, count these calories. Oh, save up your calories until later in the day. Ignore your physical hunger during the day and then eat all your calories at night. That is crazy town. Why not just do what people used to do before the 1950s, before the processed food industry took off and put all kinds of crappy ingredients into processed food and put all this extra sugar and extra salt and then the convenience foods, the fast foods, so that people stopped cooking. They stopped taking time with their own families. They used to sit down at a table together and eat a home-cooked meal. If you are eating out of the freezer section like I used to do, if you're hitting your nearest drive-through like I've done before, if you are hanging out at the convenience store like I've done before, all that stuff just made me fat. I understand it. I understand the addiction, Highly processed food is highly addictive, but then you've also got the emotional addiction that's tied into it. Because binge eaters and emotional eaters, compulsive overeaters, boredom eaters, stress eaters, none of this eating is done for physical hunger. If you are not eating healthy, whole, real foods, and if you're not eating only when you're physically hungry and stopping when you're full, you're going to have a long, hard struggle and continue struggling and continue looking for Band-Aids to address your symptoms. When there is no Band-Aid, there's no food diet that's going to fix what has you so out of balance with yourself. You need to start with your inner self and heal the foundational root of what drives you to abuse yourself with food in order to break free of it. And then if you do that, it won't be any big deal to eat only when you're physically hungry and stop eating when you're physically full. You don't need any other fad diets. You need to pay attention to your physical hunger and put food in your mouth only when your stomach is physically hungry. Chew every bite 30 times to give your brain time to get the message from your stomach that it's full. You have to keep in mind that in America, the portion sizes are way out of control. If you go over to Europe, travel to mainland Europe, not necessarily Britain, but mainland Europe, you don't see a bunch of fat people running around over there. Their portion sizes are small, they walk, and they also are... I used to be a flight attendant for 7 years. I flew all over the world. I personally think that Europeans, mainland Europeans, they're more mature than many and most Americans. I think that there's a lot of Americans who they look like adults, but they're children. And, you don't have to stay like that if that's you. And you don't even have to believe what I'm saying. All you have to do is get real with yourself. And are you being honest with yourself? Are you being a grown-up when it comes to taking care and fueling your own physical body? Or are you mainly acting out of a child mentality of, wah, I want this, I want that, and using food for all kinds of things that have nothing to do with physical hunger? Hey, remember I said exit this podcast if you were looking for reasons to be offended or looking for reasons to just make more excuses. And you don't have to believe anything I'm saying. If you have no problem putting food in your mouth only when your body is physically hungry and stopping putting food in your mouth when your stomach is physically full. Did I finish what I was saying before? You want to chew each bite 30 times because that gives your brain time to get the answer from your stomach that it's full. It only takes the food that is the size of your fist. That's all the amount of food that is needed to appease your physical hunger. How much food do you normally eat? And this is not about shaming yourself or beating up on yourself. This is about getting real. The simplest way to lose weight is you eat when you're physically hungry, you stop when you're physically full, you chew each bite 30 times, give your brain time to catch up, and don't eat within a couple hours of when you go to bed. It's really not rocket science. Now, if you keep eating highly processed foods, it's going to take longer, but you can still, over time, it'll take longer, but you can still reduce your body weight. It's easier for the human body to metabolize whole, healthy, real foods. It's just easier. And it's how the human form has eaten for most of the years that the human has been on this planet. It's only been since the 1950s that this obesity and overweight epidemic started. And a large part of it is the food that you are eating. But the big problem is that what happens is there's so many things tied in with your body weight and how you look and how you feel about yourself that especially when you have been struggling for a lifetime since childhood, which is where I first started struggling with food and weight. That's where all of my coaching clients first started struggling. So you've been struggling for 20, 30, 40 or more years, depending on your age. And what happens is, even though it's so simple, you just need to pay attention to your physical hunger and only fuel your body when physically hungry. That's it. If you're not physically hungry, the only thing that should be going in your mouth is clean, clear, regular water. No diet sodas, because that screws up the chemistry. But what I was saying is that there's so many other mental issues and emotional issues that get wrapped up in this struggle, that when you've been struggling with this issue for so many years and now you feel massive amounts of shame because you know exactly how you should be eating, but you're not doing it, and you're really smart, you're successful professionally, which makes it even worse, and you have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, you don't trust yourself, you don't even trust your own body, you don't even know how to feel your physical hunger because you're afraid to feel physically hungry because you're trying to fill up something inside of you that food can never fill up. And that's why you have to heal the root of what drives your unhealthy eating disorders, your unhealthy eating habits. And that's a process. Now, my clients, when they follow my proven step-by-step system, they are struggle-free with food and their weight in 8 weeks or less. That does not mean that they're at their goal weight, because if you're dropping 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week, then you're really doing great. And it actually takes longer to get to your goal weight than it does to get a weight loss mindset. But when you have a weight loss mindset, you're no longer feeling anxious about the state of your weight, and you're able to just live a healthy lifestyle, to eat only when hungry, stop eating when full, and also be eating healthy whole foods, and then the fat comes off. But you're no longer impatient. Impatience is a sign of a fat mindset, FAT, fear attracting thoughts. Anxiety, shame, hating yourself, hating your body, hating the fat on your body. Why hate the fat on your body? The fat cells are doing what they're supposed to do. You keep shoveling extra fuel in when the gas tank is already full. What are the fat cells supposed to do? They're doing their job, man. Why hate them? They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. But see, these are all of the problems in the muckmire that get all tangled up when this problem is so simple. Stop putting food in your mouth unless you're physically hungry. I know it sounds so simple, but when you're a binge eater, you don't eat for physical hunger. When you use food to cope with any problem in life, you're not eating for physical hunger. When you don't have coping skills to cope with life's ups and downs, you are unable to stop using food for coping. When you doubt your own body and you doubt yourself and you don't trust yourself, you don't even know how to feel physical hunger because the last time you were physically hungry was when you were a kid, then this solution I'm giving you, it's so simple. But how do you do it? You got to start by healing the root of what drives all of your unhealthy behaviors. Start there. Do it from the inside out, and then it's not a big deal. And then you'd be able to say, oh yeah, now I get it. Now I could see I'm just paying attention to my physical hunger. But you have to clear away all the garbage that is stopping you from doing that. And the garbage is in your mind. The garbage is in your emotional state. The garbage is in your memories. It's all your inner self that just needs to be healed. One other thing, too, about the critical importance of physical hunger is not something that's supposed to be feared. And these people, and maybe you've done this, that take diet pills to suppress their physical hunger, that is the worst thing you could do. That is the worst thing you could do. And it's never long term, ever. What are you going to do? Take a diet pill for the rest of your life? And how many of these diet pills, they cause holes in the heart? I mean, you could Google all of that stuff. It's so much simpler and it makes so much more sense and it's so much healthier to create a healthy relationship with yourself, get a weight loss mindset, heal your inner self, learn how to like yourself, get on the track with yourself where you actually admire yourself as much as you admire your own best friend. Stop beating yourself up. Stop hating yourself. Stop hating your body. Stop being afraid of food. And then it really isn't any big deal to just live a healthy lifestyle. Oh, and I meant to say this too. It's just as bad to be a binge eater as it is to be one who is physically hungry and you don't eat. It's just crazy town. If your stomach is physically hungry, you need to eat unless it's time to go to bed. Just go to bed, But to ignore your physical hunger and thinking that ignoring your physical hunger that you're going to lose weight, yeah, that's a great way to ruin your metabolism. If your stomach is physically hungry, you fuel the gas tank, but you do it in a way where you give it enough fuel and you stop when it's full, not stuffed, not bloated, but the physical hunger is gone. This takes a lot of trust, it takes practice, and it takes a weight loss mindset if you want to do it struggle-free. But that's all the work that I do with my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. I'm just telling you here in this Get Real episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, all you got to do is pay attention to your physical hunger. That's it. It is so freaking simple. What is the big freaking deal? Now, here I'm saying this, and I totally understand what it's like to be caught up in emotional eating, caught up in binge eating, caught up in the addiction. And the addiction is not just to the sugar, it's not just to the food, it's also the addiction to feeling bad and having the poor me pity parties and eating all the ice cream. Okay, so I realize and I understand that what I'm suggesting and what I'm saying is the way out is much, much, much easier said than done when you don't have a weight loss mindset. All right? When you have a effed up, fat, screwed up mindset and you're drowning in fear-attracting thoughts and you're hating yourself because you gained all the weight back that you'd lost before, and you've done that how many times? And you don't know why you can't stop eating, and then you go eat more to try to feel better. Hearing me say these words that I'm saying here on this podcast, oh yeah, JoLynn, just eat for physical hunger. I get it. It's a lot easier said than done, but that's why you want to do the inner work, okay? But it's like, in the end, this whole weight loss thing, you don't need another frickin' fad diet. You really don't. It is not that big of a deal. You eat when you're physically hungry. You stop eating when you're physically full. But again, I know I've said this like how many times? 20 times? It's easier said than done, because if you don't have a weight loss mindset, it's almost impossible to do what I'm saying. You know what I mean, Jean? So I get it, but then it's up to you. What's your decision? What are you going to do? Are you going to actually do the work, do the steps to get a weight loss mindset? Are you going to heal your inner self? Or are you just going to keep looking for another fix, looking for another Band-Aid? Oh, look it. Here's this video about this fast fat loss trick. Oh, wow, yeah, let's do that. Oh, lose 30 pounds in 20 days. Oh, yeah, I got to do that because I'm so anxious about gaining that 30 pounds. I got to get it off fast. Well, how is that going to work out in the end? All you got to do is look at your past, look at your results. Your results never lie. If you've never achieved permanent weight loss, how is doing another Band-Aid quickie fix hack thing going to change the real problem? You know what I mean, Jean? Are you getting this? Is it making sense? Even a little bit? Hey, remember, this is Get Real, episode number 35 of the JoLynn Braley Show. There's no reason that you should be offended by anything I'm saying because I warned you up front. Don't listen if you're looking for reasons to be offended. But in the end, the whole thing about weight loss, it is not rocket science. But it does feel like trying to scale Mount Everest without any feet. You've just got bloody bones sticking out on the bottom, and you don't even have any socks on those bloody bones. You don't have any shoes. It feels like trying to climb Mount Everest to do what I am saying here on this podcast when you don't have the right mindset, because you're caught up in the addiction, you're caught up in the drama, you're caught up in the trauma, you're caught up in the cycle, and, the only way to truly break free is to do it from the inside out. That really is the only true way to heal this thing once and for all. It takes a core transformation, and that's done from the inside out. And I don't mean your intestines. I mean your mindset, your heart set, your emotional state, your energy sphere, your vibe, you. It's all about you and how you really are on the inside. You might be smiling all the time and people think that you're the happiest person around, but you're not. And I've had a lot of coaching clients who, my coaching clients are awesome. They're really honest with me. And maybe it's because they know that I understand. I don't know. But you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with your coach in order to get, the results that you want in the fastest amount of time possible. That's really, really important. And you got to remember one thing too. All of your unhealthy behaviors, they're not who you are. All right? You run into but you create an even bigger problem for yourself when you identify with your unhealthy behaviors. So if you have the identity of a binge eater, if you say to yourself, I'm a binge eater, now you have an even bigger problem. You already had a problem, but now your problem is multiplied by 10,000. So the truth is, you are not your behaviors. Your behaviors are just behaviors, and any behavior can be changed when you go about it from the inside out. That's what I do with my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. Are you getting this? Is it making sense? Are you having an aha moment? Hey, you know what? I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the JoLynn Braley Show on iTunes, rate the show. I believe this is a 5-star show because, I'm not just giving you food tips to go put a Band-Aid on things. Yes, you have to change the food you eat. You've got to change how much you eat. You got to change when you're eating. Of course, you have to do that stuff. But without addressing the real problems, and honestly, I don't know what the real problems are for you because I don't know who you are. You could be a little pet penguin that is listening to this that, your penguin owner left their laptop on and somehow you used your little penguin pad and turned on the volume of their laptop. And that's as much as I know about you. So I don't know what the foundational root problem is that drives your out of control eating behaviors, your food obsessions, your low self-esteem, all that stuff. But I do know that whatever it is, it can be healed if you're willing to do the steps to heal it. It is time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show. This week's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is my free ebook. Yeah, get it now. Just go get it. Enter your first name, enter your best email address. If you are wanting to learn just a little bit more about making weight loss easier from the inside out, then head on over to www.easyfunweightloss.com, www.easyfunweightloss.com. Enter your first name, your best email address, and we'll send that over to you and send you other updates about my podcast and other cool stuff, anything that could possibly help you in any way to get to the bottom of things. if that's what you want to do. Hey, if you don't want to do that, it's all good. I'm just here to help my awesome coaching clients transform at the root from the inside out so they can get the heck off of the drama train and get onto the struggle-free weight loss train where they feel good in their own skin, where they actually like themselves, and they are just, they're excited about life again. I've had a client, I remember she said that it had been years and years and years since she had gotten out of bed in the morning and been excited, and the Inner Self diet gave her that, and also helped her. I think she dropped 25 pounds. I'd have to go back and look. Anyway, if you want my free ebook, get it now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. All right, a couple questions to ask yourself here on this Get Real episode of the JoLynn Braley Show. I recommend that you write each question down pen on paper. Why? Because. Why not? Do you want to get the most out of this free weight loss podcast, or do you just want to keep collecting information and just skating through life and continuing to get the same old results that you've always gotten? If that's what you want, I wouldn't even listen to this podcast. But how did you get this far in this podcast if that's who you are? It seems like you would be getting a pen and paper right now since you're still listening to my voice. So you pause the podcast to do that. It'll help you get out of your head, get present with yourself. It'll help you create that connection between the head, the hand, and the heart that you can only get when you write pen on paper. You can write each question down, pen on paper, and then write your answer down, pen on paper, and pause the podcast when you need more time. First question: how willing am I to be 100% badass honest with myself? Obviously, these questions, you're asking yourself all these questions. That's why I'm phrasing them as they are. How willing am I to be 100% badass honest with myself about the lies I tell myself, about the stories that I tell myself that aren't true, about the limiting beliefs that I hang on to, about the pity parties that I stay in, and then I use food to try to soothe all this stuff, and all it's doing is keeping me fat, keeping me overweight, or packing more weight on. How willing am I to be 100% badass honest with myself? It's not easy. It's easier to lie to yourself, but it's also easier to keep eating. All depends on what you want. You're not going to get permanent weight loss by continuing to lie to yourself. Number 2 question: what are the top 3 lies I have been telling myself? What are the top 3 lies I have been telling myself related to this topic of food, weight, eating, overeating, binge eating, overweight, obesity, weight loss, this whole thing? What are the top 3 lies that I have been telling myself? Just pause the podcast when you need more time. Number 3 question: if I keep telling myself these 3 lies, where am I going to be a year from now? What are the results I'm going to have? What's going to change? What's going to get worse? If I keep telling myself these 3 lies, where am I going to be a year from now? What will my results be? What will change? What will get worse? Will anything improve? Is it going to help me lose weight? Am I going to get to my goal weight and stay there over this next year? When you think about it, let's say that you only have 30 pounds to release. If you were to drop just 2 pounds a week, you could drop 30 pounds over the next 15 weeks. 15 weeks. That's approximately 4 months. That's pretty fast. You could potentially be at your goal weight in 4 months. If you only dropped 1 pound a week, you would still be at your goal weight 30 weeks from now. So you have nothing to lose by sorting yourself out, getting a weight loss mindset, getting on track with living a healthy lifestyle, letting the binge eating go, letting the emotional eating go. Because worst case scenario, if you're only dropping 1 pound a week, that's 52 pounds in a year. That year, that time is going to go by anyway. You still have to go to work or build your business, take care of your kids, or go date your boyfriend or whatever I don't know what your life is, but the 52 weeks, it's going to go by anyway. If you could just drop 1 pound a week, and let's say you've got 55 pounds to release, well, you'd be 52 pounds lighter in a year, and then you'd have only 3 pounds to go. But what stops you is all the drama, the head drama, the fat mindset, FAT, fear attracting thoughts. Did you write that down? FAT, fear attracting thoughts. That's a fat mindset. It's just going to keep you in struggle. You got to switch that to a weight loss mindset. Question number 4. What is my proven system for getting a weight loss mindset? You're asking yourself this. What is my proven system for getting a weight loss mindset? You got to have a proven system. You got to have steps to work with every day. You got to stay consistent. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. All right? Doesn't change overnight. How many years have you been struggling with this issue? It's really easy to figure it out. Take your current age, write it down on that paper that you have there. Write it down pen on paper. Go back in time. How old were you when you first started struggling in any way with body image, overeating, overweight, food fears? You might not have even been overweight. I wasn't. I started struggling with this stuff when I was 7, and I was a skinny kid, but I thought I was fat, and that's where all my struggles started. So how old were you? Okay, get that age. It's not going to be hard. You were 10, 12, 8, 7, whatever. Maybe you were 3. Okay, now what you do is on your paper, write that age down underneath your current age, subtract the 2, circle the number. That's how old this problem is. This is why no food diet has ever fixed it for you, because it's a lifelong problem. All right? You got to go to the root of it, heal that, and then you'll be home free. You're not going to be thin overnight, but you can get a weight loss mindset pretty quickly. And then it's just not a big deal to live a healthy lifestyle once you have the right mindset. Okay? Now, you got to have that proven system, though. You're not going to get different results without doing something different. And so maybe this is one of the top 3 lies that you've told yourself, that, oh, if I just wish or hope or pray, just keep praying for a change. What's changed? What has changed? Prayer works when your feet are in motion. It's not going to work. I believe in the power of prayer, but you have to take action to bring about what you want with your own action. You can't expect to just sit and meditate or sit and pray and everything's going to change and fall into your lap. It doesn't work like that. And you know what? I'm a certified law of attraction coach. That's one of my certifications. And one of the biggest fallacies of law of attraction is people thinking that all they have to do is think positive or just say, I want this thing. It doesn't work like that. You got to change your mindset and take action with the new mindset. And then taking the action isn't any big deal to take the action. Do you get it? Does this make sense? If you want to get fit and healthy and get thin forever, you have to change your lifestyle. You got to change how you're eating, what you're eating, when you're eating. You got to change how you're moving your body, when you're moving your body. These things need to be consistent. And it's not a struggle to do these things when you have the right mindset. Mindset is 92.8% of it. Okay, so question number 4 is, what's your system for getting a weight loss mindset? If you don't have one, that's a problem. That is a problem. Number 5 question, who is my coach? Who is my coach? Who is helping me stay accountable? Who is helping me stay honest with myself? Who is helping me to see the blind spots that I can't see? Even when you ask yourself questions, there's still things that you can't see because you live in your own muckmire. It's your own stuff. And it's that old saying, you can't see the forest through the trees, or you can't see the forest for the trees. You know what I mean? Everybody needs coaching because nobody can see their own blind spots. I just got off the phone with one of my coaches today, and he helped me see 2 things that I had no awareness of. and it was really great. So if you want to make fast progress, and if you want to go from point A to point B in the least amount of time possible, you get coaching. You need accountability, and you also need a coach who is going to tell you the truth and help you get real with yourself. Remember, getting real with yourself is not an opportunity to beat yourself up or to pity yourself. It's just about, hey, okay, I'm saying that I want to get thin and stay thin forever, that I want to look my best in my awesome, cute jeans, that I want to show up looking my best. Hey, by the way, no apology is needed for wanting to look your best. I think it's awesome. Okay, this is not vanity. You've got a human body and you want to look good. You want to look good naked too? Great, that's awesome. You're going to have to do stuff though to get these results. All right? And so when you get real with yourself, what are you doing? Where are you lying to yourself? Okay? The days keep going by. You keep telling yourself every week that you're going to start again on Monday. And Monday comes and goes. Maybe you do start again on Monday, but it lasts until Wednesday. You know what I mean, Jean? You're just not going to get to that end goal. And by the way, the end goal should not be the goal weight on the scale. The end goal should be maintaining your ideal weight for life. And the only way you can do that is you got to have the right mindset, because you're not going to maintain your ideal weight for life if you haven't healed the root of your binge eating and your emotional eating. Because, anybody, even a binge eater, anybody can force themselves to stick with a short-term diet and get to a certain weight. But the danger zone is as soon as you get to that weight and then you actually think that you can go back and eat the way you used to, and that's where all the weight comes back on. And the only reason that you do that is because you don't have the right mindset. And the eating disorders have never actually been healed. If you'd healed the root of those problems, then you wouldn't go back to old problems. It's like one of my coaching clients. Her name is Holly. I coached her back in 2011, so that was quite a while ago. And she had been out of control with binge eating for over 30 years. She'd been off and on in therapy for about 7 years. She had done, like in her own words, and I hear this from most of my coaching clients, she'd tried everything and nothing had worked. And she was in a pretty bad state when she talked to me. And we first talked on her discovery session, which is the only way to get into the inner self diet. You first have to have a complimentary weight loss discovery session with me. And she enrolled in the inner self diet. She did my steps. She broke free of her binge eating that had been plaguing her out of control for over 30 years. She was 20 pounds overweight. She dropped the 20 pounds in 2011, and she still sends me updates. She has not gained the 20 pounds back, and she has not gone back to binge eating because she healed the root of it. Do you see what I'm saying? Is it making sense? All right. You're never going to get to the place where you can, and I've heard this from a lot of people. They say, well, I just don't want to think about it anymore. I don't want to think about food. I don't want to think about any of this. How is that going to work? You have a human body. Your human body needs fuel. So you have to think about your meals. You got to think about fueling your body. But when you have the right mindset, the thoughts that you think about that, it's just part of taking care of yourself, And it doesn't mean that you eat food that you hate. I mean, I really like the food I eat. It's really good. And fruit is my dessert. I look forward to my red delicious apple every day, or Honeycrisp apple, or Granny Smith. I love Jazz apples too. So that's like a dessert for me, but I don't eat an apple for every meal, and I eat it in a certain way, with a carb and protein. Other people who are caught up in the stuff that I have been caught up in before would look at the way I eat, and they might even say, oh, that looks really restrictive. It's not when you have the right mindset and when you are making your own choices for how you're fueling your body. When it's your choice, there's no restriction. All right? So is this making any sense at all? A little bit? Are you getting this? So I got to wrap this up because this episode here has gone a little bit long, but I really like doing these Get Real episodes. And also, I have heard over and over and over again since I started the JoLynn Braley Show the first week of January 2013, and I do one Get Real episode per month. And I've heard over and over and over again that the favorite episodes of my loyal podcast peeps are the Get Real episodes. So I like doing them too. Thank you for the feedback, all of you who have given me that. And let's see here. Hey, if you did not write those questions down and answer them for yourself, pen on paper, you can rewind the podcast. You can do that. Next week's episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, that is episode number 152. And the topic will be the top 3 signs of a fat mindset. Remember, fat, F-A-T, fear attracting thoughts. So tune in for that if you want to hear more. And remember, you can grab my free ebook at www.easyfunweightloss.com if you just want to learn a little bit more. Oh, if you want help, if you know you need coaching, if you know and you believe that it's true, you can't see your own blind spots. Nobody can. Nobody knows. Nobody can see their own blind spots. And that's why coaching is so valuable. If you're working with the right coach, you want to work with somebody who specializes in overcoming these food and weight battles that you've never been able to heal on your own. If you want help to do that, if you want to end your food and weight struggles in 8 weeks or less, you want to get it done, you want the fast track, then your first step is to apply for a complimentary weight loss discovery session with me. You can get started with that now at www.discovery-session.com. That is for you if you would love to stop asking yourself, why am I so smart? I'm so intelligent. I'm successful in all these other areas of my life, but I've never been able to succeed long term with this food and weight thing. What is the problem? And it frustrates you because you're so smart, you're so successful. You know exactly what you need to be doing to lose weight and keep it off, but you're just not able to get it together to really, really do it. And, you know, it's like you know so much about nutrition that you could teach a class on it. If you want to heal this problem and move forward and get the struggle-free weight loss, get this done, go to www.discovery-session.com to get started now. Please note this is a limited time offer. I am JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that actually works. If you work it, you got to actually do it. You know, just listening to me talk about it here on my free weight loss podcast. My podcast is not the Inner Self Diet. Coaching requires two-way communication. Hey, I wish you your best life, living inside of your ideal body. Yay!